You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. I've got some folks from Keystone coming in to join me for a really fun chat, and we're going to talk about a really nice celebration they have coming up. And I'm reading the notes here. Over 50,000 people have been served by Keystone. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to be chatting with a couple of folks, Jason and Eric from Keystone. We're going to be doing that here in just a short while. Also, a little preview. I'm hoping to have an interview tomorrow with Zach. He's a comedian who will be in Sioux Falls tomorrow night. But I wanted to mention it today because you can get your tickets right now. Zach Peterson will be in Sioux Falls tomorrow night. He'll be doing comedy at Great Shots, and that's a golf place just up on the north edge of town. Great Shots Comedy. Golf, eat, enjoy, it says on the little poster here. Headliner, Zach Peterson, and your opener, your MC, is a guy by the name of Big John Small. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, that's me. Yeah. I'm excited to actually be a part of this. And I've not worked with Zach before. I've heard really good things. I know several people who have worked with him. And I would be honored to have you come out and join us tomorrow night. If you don't have plans already, why not make plans to join us? It's going to be in the lower level at Great Shots. And they've done comedy there several months now. They've done this, I don't know how long they've been doing it, maybe a year. But it is a really fun time. And again, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, I would love to spend the evening with you. So come on out. I get to be the opener, and then an hour of comedy from Zach Peterson. Very funny guy. And the comedy that they do there is sponsored by the Brookings home team, 21st Century Realty out of Brookings. And they do this at Great Shots in Sioux Falls. It's on the north edge of Sioux Falls. It's in the Sanford Sports Complex. So if you've not been there, get out there and check it out. 2505 West Benson Road is the official address. And again, it's tomorrow night. I've got a link. If you'd like to get tickets, you can find the link at SiouxFallsComedy.com. I've also got a link at Facebook.com/SunnyRadio and Facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At BetterCreditCards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to have a couple of guests in the studio today. Eric Miller and Jason Strickland. They're both with Keystone, and Keystone celebrates 50 years. Eric, you haven't been there 50 whole years, though, have you?
No, I haven't.
and I don't think Jason's even 50 years old. So
Thank you. Old enough to say thank you.
There you go. So, but the thing that's amazing, we were talking a little bit ahead of time, and in those 50 years, Keystone has made a bit of an impact in some lives. And when we're talking about some lives, we're talking over 50,000 lives that you've made a direct impact. And then when you start thinking about all of these people have families, and they have coworkers, and they've got neighbors, and they've got people in their lives, you've probably made an impact in millions of lives over the last 50 years. That is amazing to me.
Well, you stop and think about what's the population of Sioux Falls now as it grows? 250?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I would say that would be a safe of
Yeah.
having an impact on every man, woman, and child currently residing within Sioux Falls.
And the thing that's really neat, Keystone has an amazing history, and there's so many great things that you have done. But here's the best part. You're still doing it, and you're continuing to do this. And there are people seeking treatment right now that are getting treatment at Keystone, and others who are on a waiting list to get treatment at Keystone. So the thing that's fun, we're going to be talking about a couple of events that are coming up. And these events are really nice celebrations. We're going to be celebrating on Friday, July 14th. And then we've got another celebration coming up Friday, August 18th. And I'm going to throw the information online because I want to make sure people know they're welcome to come out and be a part of these events. But today, what I really want to do is just kind of talk a little bit about Keystone, because I think one of the biggest differences between Keystone and other solutions that are out there are the people at Keystone. And you've got a lot of people that have been there working on this mission for a long time, haven't you, Eric?
Long time. And in fact, we have been in a process of transition. And I think that's what's so key is, how do we maintain the vision? how do we maintain the foundation that has been laid? But, several of our staff have been pillars in this process for decades. And again, I think the original vision and our ability to maintain and adhere to those principles and beliefs, of which this process was started in 73, is what's allowed us, I guess, to thrive for now 5 decades. We're in a very select and small group that can claim that. But, it's our intention, Jason and my intention, the current new leadership as we are transitioning, is to position ourselves to go another 50 years. We're busier than ever, than we've ever been right now. What we need, what is more capacity.
Absolutely.
And the need's not going away, I think, more than ever, especially with the onset of COVID. I don't think we've seen the full impact of that, of shutting down.
And you couldn't go to your church, but you could go to your liquor store. Like, what is going on? It's like we live in a bizarro world.
Right. The dope dealer didn't shut down either.
It's amazing to me. And again, the nice thing is Keystone is there. So if there's somebody listening right now that's going, hey, I'm struggling with this, or maybe I've got a family member that's struggling with this, Keystone, I don't know for sure that it's the answer, but it certainly could be, and it has been for a lot of people. And it's been a really good answer for a lot of people. And Eric was sharing with me that this is you're on the other side of the desk from where you started with Keystone, which is amazing to me. You're an alumni,
I went
which is awesome.
as an alumni in 1986, and
so you kind of believe in this, don't you?
Well, it's beyond a job. It's a way of life, and I think Jason said that it's purpose-driven. But the opportunity to come back in this role was not one that I was looking for. But I've embraced it, and we just want to help people. Bottom line, it's what drives, I think, us getting out of bed every day to go to work. There's a lot of aspects to that, but it's just that deal of I want to be the answer to somebody's prayer today.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of what has differentiated us from every other facility. We market and have direct market activities in almost 8 states. But again, it's the one thing. It's that today, again, the families, the individuals, addiction, as much of an impact as we can think that we've had. Of 50,000 individuals, we've just scratched the surface.
I love it. Again, 50th anniversary for Keystone, and I'm going to throw a link so you don't have to memorize all this stuff, but there's a really nice celebration in Sioux Falls, Friday the 14th of July, and there's another one in Canton on Friday the 18th of August. Again, all of the details on all of these events I'm going to post online, facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for This Day in Sioux Falls History, brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page and Sunny 93.3. It was on this day, July 6th, 1949, that we got to say happy birthday to Barbara Everest. Barbara represented Sioux Falls for 10 years in the state Congress and Pierre, and in 2001, she became the first woman in South Dakota history to become Senate Majority Leader. She fell in love with politics as a young woman in Sioux Falls, volunteering on campaign teams for Jim Abner, Bill Janklow, and George Mickelson, plus many others. In state Congress, Everest worked hard passing legislation to improve the state of South Dakota for generations to come. A few of her biggest accomplishments include an overhaul of the state's adoption laws, improving funding and aid for school districts, and encouraging more women to engage in politics in South Dakota. After leaving Pierre, Barbara practiced law for a time in Sioux Falls before retiring. Of course, retirement for such a dedicated lifelong civil servant like Everest meant donating her time to multiple boards, advisory roles, and lobbying positions to continue to help affect change in South Dakota. Barbara Everest is an amazing role model and leader in our community. Sioux Falls is very lucky to have her as a lifelong citizen. This Day in Sioux Falls History has been brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun page at SiouxFallsFunPage.com and Sunny 93.3.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, July 6th, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Equity markets held within a tight range Wednesday while investors waited on the NFP report. The minutes of the last meeting were released in the early afternoon and suggest the Fed will continue to hike rates, but at a slower pace than before. This is consistent with the idea that the Fed will hike rates by more than an additional 25 basis points, but only one 25 basis point hike per meeting, if that much. What this means for the economy is more pressure and higher costs that should send consumer demand into retreat. The NFP report is due out Friday. It's expected to show job growth decelerate from the previous month, but hold strong near 250,000. While the headline figure will be important, the revisions are also important to note. The average hourly wage gains are expected to cool slightly to 4.3% year over year, which is still hot and underpinning general inflation. The takeaway is that the Fed's job is not finished and it still has a fight on its hands. You can get the inside track at MarketBeatMinute.com.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.